Hey everyone, at People here doing another video based on the E-100, another tutorial with killing IS-7s. Now this one's going to focus on ammunition loadout and opportunistic shots that you must take with the E-100 to take advantage. So obviously this tank with the 150mm has a massive gun, does massive amounts of damage with AP rounds and heat rounds. When it penetrates, and HE rounds, if you can get a good penetration, you can deal 1100 damage to an enemy tank. Don't mind the occasional pause screen that you see there while I'm doing the replay. At the time, when I was doing fraps, I was getting a really low frame rate on the recording, so I was just closing down some background tasks to try and fix that up. Alright, well back to this game. So yes, I do currently use a 50-50 loadout of AP and heat shells. I don't only really ever use the heat shells unless I accidentally load them in, like accidentally hit number 2 instead of W, which does happen from time to time and I don't realise, but for the most part I try and keep myself aware of what I'm shooting, what ammo I'm shooting at what tank, because the only real tanks that I would say it's justifiable to use gold rounds, not necessary but justifiable, would be tanks like the T95 or the IS-7 if you don't know how to fight them. In this case I used heat rounds as a backup because I saw how many tanks were on the enemy team, I saw what tanks there were, and I knew potentially that I could be facing off against more than just the IS-7, so I chose as a backup loadout something that I could still aim at the IS-7 and still penetrate well on the front, when given the right circumstances basically. So I chose that tactically in my head. What actually happens is what you'll see shortly. I do only face off against the IS-7, but I do take a couple of shots, and I will go into free aim mode right about now, so that I can show you where. So you saw there, right there, that's basically another butter zone of where to shoot an IS-7 when they're playing peek-a-boo with you. You've got to take your time with this tank. Obviously I didn't have time to take against that shot, so I had to basically take the first penetrating shot on the chin so I could let myself have the best angle to shoot at. But as you saw, the second shot, once I'd actually gotten my first penetrating shot in and I was reloading, I then changed my disposition so that I was not going to take another shot. Now with this penetrating shot that I take up ahead, it's because I've got the E-50 and the French tank also to worry about. Now both of those tanks can deal, if they penetrate me, they can collectively deal more damage than the IS-7. So I angled against them and let the IS-7 take a free shot in on me. Now if I'd have come out with a slightly more straight angle and then turned just a little bit, I would have actually been vulnerable to the two tanks in front of me and been almost invulnerable to the IS-7 around. So I chose for me what seemed appropriate. So at the point of me destroying the IS-7, I already knew we'd lost this match because there was, as far up as I am, there's no way that I could go back in time. There's not enough people on our team actually capping their base right now for us to beat them in cap or force a draw. So this is the point, the crunch time, where you go, right, you need to make as much damage as you can, make as many, not even kills these days, just deal as much damage as you can to make the most cash out of this loss. And I do pocket a little bit of money on the side here, which is good. So basically guys, that's just a quick little run through so you can see where to shoot an IS-7 coming out playing peek-a-boo with you, and a little bit of ammo conscious loadout. I shall catch you guys later, but comment, rate, subscribe, let me know you like these videos and I'll keep popping them up. Alright, adios.